Here is the story of Simon, often called Simon the Zealot, one of Jesus' 12 apostles. Simon began his life as a member of the Zealots, a group of Jewish nationalists driven by fierce love for their people and homeland to fight for the overthrow of Roman rule by any means necessary. When he first encountered Jesus and heard teachings of a kingdom not of this world, he was deeply confused and skeptical, questioning how a message of peace could bring the freedom he so desperately sought for his community. But as he walked alongside Jesus, witnessing miraculous healings, watching him stand fearlessly for the marginalized and oppressed, and absorbing lessons that emphasized love as a more powerful force than violence, his heart underwent a profound transformation, leading him to recognize that true freedom was not merely about political independence, but about liberating hearts and minds from hatred, fear, and injustice. So he left behind his old life of fervent activism and dedicated himself fully to spreading the gospel, bringing his characteristic passion and unwavering determination to this new calling. After Jesus' resurrection and ascension, Simon felt compelled to carry this message of hope to regions where oppression ran deep, and according to long-held traditions, he journeyed first through Egypt and North Africa before pressing onward into Persia and even as far as Spain, where everywhere he went he spoke of Jesus' core teachings, urging people to love their neighbors, to turn the other cheek, and to build societies rooted in equity and compassion. He did not shrink from confronting those in power, boldly challenging kings and governors to rule with justice and care for their people, while also devoting countless hours to the poor and outcast, sharing meals with them, teaching them to read from sacred texts, and helping to establish tight-knit communities where every individual was valued and supported. Though his work drew many to embrace the faith, it also made him a target. Roman authorities viewed him as a threat to their order, and some local leaders resented how he encouraged people to question unjust systems. And as persecution of believers intensified across the regions he served, friends pleaded with him to stop his work or flee to safety. Yet Simon refused to be silenced, continuing to preach openly and fearlessly about the love and hope he had found in Jesus. Eventually, he was arrested. Sources differ on whether this took place in Persia or Spain, and brought before a ruling authority who demanded he renounce his faith and swear allegiance to earthly powers. When Simon firmly declared that Jesus Christ was the only king he would ever serve, he was condemned to a brutal death, bound and sawn in half with a large wooden saw. But in those final moments he displayed remarkable courage and grace, not crying out in anger or fear, but instead praying earnestly